Welcome back to E! Magazine. Now, before we took a short commercial break, we were discussing what does it really take to be a successful model in Kenya. And now joining me in studio is Nosim. How are you doing, Nosim? Nosim Naserian, how are you doing?
Yes, thank you.
Now, I know for a fact you've been a model for how long in this industry?
I've been a model since 2014.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Have you had good experiences throughout those years?
Oh yes, I have. I haven't had actually any bad experience, I'll say. Yeah, it's been good for
great.
me. Yeah.
So what kind of modeling are you into? Like what's your niche?
I'm a commercial model.
Commercial model.
I've always been.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what kind of commercial modeling have you done so far? Like what brands have you worked with?
I've worked with Guinness.
Guinness?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
It was a great advert. I've also done billboards with Safaricom. Then I've done, that was actually my first billboard I've done so far with Safaricom. Then before that, I've been doing TV adverts, for Safaricom and other brands.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to go straight ahead and ask you, from your experience in modeling in Kenya, what does it really take to be a successful model?
I'll say for a first-time model, I'll advise go to an agency because they give you direction really, and they kind of mentor you. But for someone like me, of course, you have to do freelance. I feel like freelance works better. That's what I'm doing now. You create your own portfolio, then you present it to clients yourself.
Okay, and how do you reach out to these clients?
After, of course, presenting, having your portfolio, you just send it to them, email them.
You just email them?
Yes, with rates. This is Nosim Naserian, I'm a commercial model.
That's so bold.
Yeah, you have to.
Oh, wow.
For you to get good jobs and good money, of course, you have to do that.
So have you found yourself in a space where social media has helped you to push your work out there? Or for you it's about, getting that portfolio, sending it to the clients?
I wouldn't say much about social media. It hasn't really worked out for me because I started off with an agency, then now I'm freelance. So no, it hasn't really worked out for me, social media. And there's a lot of fake and con people, so you have to be very careful who you reach out, who reaches out to you. Like for instance, sometime last year, there's someone who reached out. He was interested. He wanted me to send him my pictures. Then what I did, I directed him to my YouTube. I was like, if you want to see my portfolio, then here is my YouTube channel. I've done all that. Then he went silent, Wow. Yeah.
So from transitioning from, having an agency to doing freelance, which one would you prefer right now?
Right now, freelance is better.
Freelance is better.
Yes, you get to negotiate.
Okay, so it's different from having an agency that takes a percentage from your money.
Which is okay because they have mentored me. They've made me who I am now. Yeah. So
how long did you have an agency represent you?
Since 2014, 15, 16, 17, to last year, January, Feb. That's when I stopped working with agencies.
So it's just recently, actually.
Yeah, recently. Yeah.
Great. So, having been in that industry since 2014, which is a long time till today, do you think the modeling industry in Kenya has evolved?
In what ways?
In terms of now it's more easily accessible for you models to, get jobs, make better money than they did. I think now that we continue growing through the years, fashion grows, designers are there. They have designs, they want models. So I think people are starting to appreciate what models do.
In Kenya?
Yeah, or not? Am I wrong?
No, it's the same, and the same routine really. You have to, yeah, it's the same routine. You go to an agency or you look for a photographer or you become freelance. Nothing much has really changed. So
do you think the industry in Kenya does not appreciate models more?
To be honest, sometimes I feel like it doesn't.
Why is that?
Yeah, there's some time back people were saying why Kenyan models are not appreciated, whereby we get other companies coming to Kenya to scout for models because we are cheap,
Wow.
We are talented and we are cheap. So there's a lot that is needed in the modeling industry because we have very talented models.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot to be done. Yeah.
And what do you think when you're trying to get into this industry? What are the kind of investments you're supposed to put for yourself in order to grow your brand?
Growing a brand, of course, invest in yourself. From hair, invest good clothes.
So you need to look good.
You need to look good. Generally, yeah, you need to look good.
Apart from looking good, what else?
Confidence.
That's a good one.
Yeah, confidence.
Uh-huh.
Because sometimes you're called for an audition and you're told to act in a certain way depending on what the client wants. So if you're not confident enough, and most auditions you walk in, you find like 50, 60 people, they're there. They want that's one role. So most of the time, confidence locks out many people.
Many people in the modeling industry.
The modeling industry, yes.
Okay. Now, you mentioned to me that you actually have a YouTube channel.
Oh yes, I have a YouTube channel.
So is that something you've been doing for a long time, or you just got into it?
I started last year and I'm targeting a corporate world. So I'm doing corporate branding, whereby I want to also mentor young girls who don't know where to start in modeling. So I talk a bit of modeling, but my end goal is to get corporate brands to work with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the
freelance. Yes.
So from your experience, it's something I asked Asiko earlier actually. Do you think commercial modeling is a place where you make more money from your experience, or editorial makes more money?
Oh, commercial all the way.
And why
commercial
is that?
has money.
Why is editorial? Because you know, when you go to the international space of modeling, it's editorial that actually
it's the other way around actually.
More money.
That's why I said in Kenya, modeling industry, it has to be, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. Because you find like an editorial model in USA is making, or she's making millions. But in Kenya, it's the other way around, because you get brands that wants to work with you for free because they believe you're building your portfolio, which is sometimes not okay, because you also need to, you know, make a living out of it, because you've invested, you've used your transport, you've, you know, there's a lot you've put into it. So the aspect of designers or people wanting you to work for them for free, so that you build your portfolio, I don't really think that's right.
Yeah, that's wrong. Actually.
Yeah, it's not right.
So what's corporate branding all about, really?
I'll say like Safaricom. Safaricom is a corporate brand.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm targeting such an organization.
So you just look up brands like Safaricom, you know,
Airtel, yeah.
That's the area.
Banks,
where the money is for the modeling, for the models. That is.
Yeah, yes, I'll say yeah, because I've worked with them before and it's been great so far.
So how much can a model make in a year in Kenya?
In a year, one thing I need to mention is I'm in school, Daystar University.
So you're doing it part-time?
I'm doing it part-time.
Okay.
And I've actually been paying my school fees through commercial modeling. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yes.
But you know, I'm into figures. I'm curious to know what numbers you're working with here.
My first advert that I did, I'm gonna be honest with you, I got 125,000, yes.
Wow, that's a
but it can go as low as 20,000, 50,000, depending on the company that you're working with. So it depends, and they don't come every day, but once you get a good commercial advert, commercial TV print, then that's good. It pays well.
So would you say in a year you can get at least 5 gigs or more?
It's not unpredictable, because there are many. You're not the only commercial model.
Yeah.
There are many other commercial models out there. So if you're lucky, let me say that, you can do 3 or 2 that really pay well.
And that's in a month or in a year?
In a year, or 3, 4, yeah, in a year.
2 that pay really well, like 50 Gs each. I'm pushing it.
Like 120.
120
or 150.
Just, I feel
or
like
80
this is something
or
a lot of
70.
models don't know.
They don't know about that. They don't know.
I feel like a lot of people are just focused on just being on magazines, and yet I don't even think these magazines pay.
Trust, they don't know. Like I said, I've been paying my school fees through modeling. So
I know you mentioned for you the way you were able to get these clients is by you know, finding them and sending a portfolio. But are there other ways to connect with these agents who give you contracts for being on billboards?
Apart from working with an agency?
Yeah.
Personally, no, I haven't explored any other.
Okay.
It's just working with an agency and being freelance. Yeah.
Do you have plans on doing modeling full time?
Oh yes, I want to someday go, of course, to some, I don't know, New York or...
Where do you want to go? What's your life goal in modeling?
That's
Victoria's Secret, runway.
no, I can't. I'm not a runway model. I'm quite
Commercial.
hippie for that.
So you never want to try the runway?
No,
Ever?
no.
I like the term used, quite hippie for that.
Yes, I'm so I can't
Really?
be. Yeah, I
Wow.
can't be. They want petites.
So you've never tried runway in Kenya? Do they have like fashion standards for models?
Yes, they do. You have to be. My height qualifies, but now my body doesn't.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's actually quite difficult. So for you, what has helped you create this brand that you have, like as Nosim? What has helped you create this brand and reach the level you are right now?
I'll say the agency that I was working with,
Which is what?
City Models. I've worked with City
Oh,
Models
City
by
Models, I've never heard
Ajuma.
of it. You know, the
By
thing is,
Ajuma.
I always hear negative thoughts about agencies. So
Yeah.
I've never really, when I hear that you tell me you're working with an agency, I'm like, wow, people actually are not as skeptical about agencies because we never hear positive stories.
Yeah, stories about agencies.
So how was City Model?
It's been great. Like I've done like 4 or 5 adverts with them. Then I've also worked with In Vogue Models.
In Vogue Models.
Yes, by Nina Bola. Yeah, those two.
Give me 3 names of legit modeling agencies in Kenya right now.
Legit. I'll say maybe the ones I've worked with.
In Vogue,
City Models and In Vogue Models. These are the
No
ones
other
I've
one,
worked.
just those 2.
Yes, those two.
Okay, I understand because you have worked with them. Now, my last question before we wrap up this interview, I'm really enjoying the conversation we're having, but sadly I have to cut it short. Where do you see the Kenya modeling industry going in the future?
First of all, we need to start to stop underpaying our models and appreciate our talent. From there, we'll rock the world, let me say that, modeling industry. Yes.
What do you think is the reason as to why models are underpaid? Is it because people just see them as, what, tools? Or they just don't see the value of paying a model a lot of money because they think the job is easy?
I'll say poverty. Because
Poverty?
yes, poverty.
Okay.
Yeah. In this essence, I'll not do a billboard which is less than 100,000, that pays less than 100,000. But there's a girl somewhere who needs that money,
And she will take it.
and she'll take 20,000.
So it creates that assumption
Yes,
that
all models should be paid that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it started like that with runway shows, whereby models are paid 10,000 or less than 8,000. Yeah, which is not right, because there are other girls. There are girls who will negotiate and get like 20 or 50,000, but those agencies will look for, upcoming models who will take like 8,000. So they'll assume that
Everyone
that's the
else is
rate. Exactly.
My very, very last question for you.
All right.
I know for a fact that you mentioned, when you're working for this commercial, for the corporate brands, for commercials, they give you a rate, or you can set a rate yourself.
No.
So knowing that you worked for a commercial, you've been paid 100,000 Kenyan shillings, maybe you've been on a billboard for Safaricom, that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
So can you go out right there and tell them, I'm worth this amount of money?
First of all, you don't negotiate. You don't put out there your rate. They negotiate it for you.
Okay.
That's when we're working with an agency. But since I'm working freelance, I get to talk about it and say, this is what I want, depending on what I've put forward. Yes.